Hey everybody, Jay Barino here. Welcome back. It's IXION. We're into Chapter 3 now, and the opportunities are endless. Chapter 2 was very dicey because of the shortage of resources. Now, it's almost like we have too many resources, and we need to expand effectively without getting bottlenecked by logistics, by getting the material where it needs to be without letting the wrong types of material clog up our docking bays. So, with that in mind, I think I need to stop picking up carbon for now. And my cargo ships will be inactive for a little bit. That's okay. Actually, you guys can go and pick up some iron and load up this docking bay. And then meanwhile, over here, we're building out Sector 3. There's a lot we need to do, and we are going to need huge amounts of steel to make this work. So with that in mind, I'm considering maybe moving my recycling. Of course, it doesn't fit over here. So we're not going to move the recycling. I was going to get another steel mill, but frankly, I think the two we have is enough. But getting another one does fit snugly right in here. That's, you know, what this build was meant for. You could just get one right there. But we do need recycling somewhere, and until we make our recycling sector, there isn't a great spot. Maybe over here. I don't love the idea of putting all my waste in my food sector. Would this fit? Almost. I mean, this is movable. Let's keep that in mind. I mean, getting that, but like right now, I'm not too concerned about it. It's fine. We have to wait for this to go away anyway. DLS center's getting set up. I'm gonna go ahead and request more steel in Sector 3, even more steel, just so that we can build this stuff a little bit faster. Just because it takes a long time for all this stuff to get built. Okay, DLS center's coming up. We're gonna cram a battery in there. What are we researching right now? Solar panels, just casual solar panel upgrades. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get our last fusion station upgrade so that our ice efficiency is that much better. Because once we go into algae farms, the ice economy is going to become a whole thing that I don't want to have to deal with. And as you can see, we don't have ice on the docking bays. We don't have ice in any of our stockpiles except over here. So it is about that time we're going to have to consider bringing in ice. And I do have one mining ship tasked with figuring that out. I have no probes. Let's go ahead and move the sensitive to the habitation sector wreckage. Yeah, I'm going to get a second... I'd like to get a second science ship. It's about that time. We just have so much science to do. Never set up this memorial, but I still don't think we need it because we have the level 2's food specialization that keeps that sector happy without the need of needing the memorial. Okay, so if we want to turn on the cryo things, I'm deciding what order I want to do this. Because I don't really relish having, like, having to wake up people faster.
Has arrived at its destination.
But that's kind of where we're going, needing to wake up 2,000. So I don't know. I guess we are going to be doing that.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
An accident? Lots of accidents? Our sensors have identified a section of the Entomonanke drifting in the Karuk system. Initial readings indicate that a large amount of floating debris is present in the area. We've also detected heat signatures, electromagnetic emissions, and a weak radio signal deep within the wreckage. We're currently unable to decrypt the signal. This is the sensitive team. We've entered the habitation sector wreckage. Many mutilated bodies and cryopods float in the void. We've been able to pinpoint the exact area of the unusual readings. So we can recover the cryopods first at no cost. So let's do that. I'm thinking... eventually, we're going to want to move the Tiqqun to a planet rather than one of these pieces of wreckage so that we can avoid the debuff of the floating corpses. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's really not impacting us that much. It's fine. Let's go ahead and have these two assigned to get ice once ice becomes available. Thermal something just finished. All right, chemical fusion's on the way. We could go to tier 3 batteries. Again, the opportunities here are really limitless. Let's just keep going down the path of solar power right now. Okay, we can go to intense propaganda, and then 15 cycles later, we'll turn on waste recycling. That gets us out of neutral for now as well. Yeah, waiting for this, what I'll do is transfer ships over to this. Quicksilver is going to belong here because Quicksilver's really been our working ship. She's been the one who goes out there and drops people off, moves colonists around. So that's going to be our Quicksilver dock, and then we can go ahead and build another science ship over here. And then more miners. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, more power. And we are bringing in more carbon. Are we bringing in more carbon? There's room for more carbon. You know what it is Sector 6 has an available... Yeah, we need to bump these up because we beefed up the available space and we haven't been moving things over, so now carbon is sitting on the dock needlessly. Let's go. Okay, but if we want to continue in Sector 4, we also need to make more and more housing because we're constantly unfreezing people. So we can't stop with this either. It's very pricey. Power is fine. Workers over here are fine. So let's go ahead and we're going to unassign Quicksilver. Quicksilver is holding nothing and doing nothing, so that's actually perfect. Unassign Quicksilver. Unassign Neshmet. Not yet. I was going to say, just move it to the middle so that I can... Oh gosh, turn off the EVA airlocks, but we've got to remember to turn it back on. Okay, unassign here so that this can be in the nice similar order. Neshmet here. And then we're going to build a new science ship to speed that up a little bit. And then Quicksilver, now you get to be over here. And then the question is, I mean, I definitely want another mining ship. But do we want to get a fifth mining ship or another cargo ship? Probably another cargo ship. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I am going to unassign... Well, we have to wait for him to be repaired and leave, but we just get a third cargo ship over here. We can build ships faster out of these docks, but frankly, it doesn't matter that much. It doesn't really matter to me. You're making alloy, right? Yes. Okay, because that's the thing we really need as we build this out. Again, it's pretty slow going to transfer all this stuff. We need some polymer if we want to build the mining ship here. So you know what? Just cancel that, and we'll build it. We'll just unassign some ships, and we'll build them all over here. Once it's done, just turn this back on. Accident in the DLS center, huh? What's going on in there that caused an accident? Someone just like slip and fall down the stairs? What's going on?
An accident has occurred.
Oh, that's a bummer. Huge amount of injuries here. We're barely above the required workers, but honestly, I think it's okay. I don't want to have to turn on another electronics factory if I can help it. It's just the amount of silicon on the map is quite high. We just need to be burning through it a little bit faster. Once all the carbon is... I don't think we're going to get through all the carbon. There's so much on the map. It's fine. Everything's fine. I don't think I need to change anything about my my material production. Habitation sector. We finished our evaluation of the cryopods. We were able to recover a large amount. They're ready for extraction. 795. The recovery area is horrifying. The body parts that float here are mostly from civilians. The dwellings within the habitation sector look more like slums than real housing. The population density must have been extremely high. Some bodies show clear signs of disease and malnutrition. Let's push deeper into the structure to reach the source of unusual readings in the residential ruins. Sure, use the drilling rig. Okay, it's just kind of slow going here. I mean, we have a good amount of housing in this new area, but we just need more and more and more and more. Okay, get rid of this. Get rid of this. Eventually, we're going to have an alternate life center here. But similar to the other sectors, it doesn't need to be on. It's just there just in case we need it. We do something like this. And then we're going to go ahead and get a little cell housing. Some cell housing. I don't love making cell housing just because it's not good for stability, but you can fit a lot of people in it. So as soon as this cell housing is done, that's when it's time to start finishing like our cryonics and moving our cryonics over here.
A science ship team has completed a task.
The other thing I'm considering is if we ditch this, I need to start moving things out of here so I can turn these into medium stockpiles. Okay, science ship team, let's keep you on the move. Making progress through the metal debris that lies everywhere has been difficult. The Entomonanki has been constructed from a range of extremely strong alloys. We have some to make an area of fallen debris which forms a precarious cave around us. 2 paths onward are possible. We could pass through a large section of pipe that's been laser cut. Temperature analysis of the cuts indicate they happened some time ago. Alternatively, there's a reinforced tunnel leading away from here. Its sides are covered in bullet holes. We could continue to use the drilling rig, but some of these paths will surely save us time. Proceed through the laser cutting piping, continue drilling, or proceed through the reinforced tunnel. I know the right answer here is to go through the reinforced tunnel. I think only do this if you have exoskeletons, otherwise you're going to suffer losses. But let's go ahead and do that. We have the light bulb now. That's exciting. Light bulb, we're going to go ahead and send you over to P41. And I should also keep shooting probes out here, huh? We really need to keep blasting out probes. There we go. And I also want to get in a position, we got to get this turned on so we can start training more colonists. It's not super critical, but there's value there for later. Yeah, it's just the building takes a long time. It's tempting to get even a second stockpile just so we can make that make these a little bit faster. So this holds 90 people, which is funny. No, that's just required resources. I think these hold like 150 or more.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Okay, ice is coming in. We no longer want ice coming in, please. We're going to... We can leave that one on, turn on a different set of cryopods, and just keep thawing those. And we could start bringing in cryopods. And we could do that in Sector 1. That would be fine. So we have Quicksilver here, and then probably going to do 2 mining ships. So we can undock you. And we can build another mining ship, because we have polymer in this sector that can go towards it. It would be more efficient to do it in Sector 1, but I don't feel like the extra clicks right now. So you get the Pride. That's the recovered mining ship that we got, right?
A science ship team has completed a task.
Okay, sensitive is done.
Administrator, a new request.
A new request. It makes me scared every time. Oh, it's actually from completing this with the Agents of Death. While walking through the tunnel, we activated a trap, presumably left by the Entomonanki Defense Forces. A deluge of debris fell from above, yet fortunately our suit exoskeletons allowed us to avoid fatalities. There was no sign of any Entomonanki survivors, and the end of the tunnel was littered with corpses of soldiers killed by cutting laser. Exiting the tunnel, we found a small shelter cobbled together from surrounding debris. Within it, a number of broken drones, shaped like deep-sea creatures, float in the lack of gravity. They bear the BMS logo of the Black Market Society. This is the first time we've seen machines like these. We've transmitted schematics and data and proposed further analysis of the drones to be conducted back on board the Tiqqun. Within a small recess at the back of the shelter, we found the corpse of an Entomonanki soldier with a now-spent breathing device. They had tried to modify one of the broken drones to produce an improvised heat source. He had been dead for several days. He has been dead for several days. The weak radio signal was transmitting from their suit's emergency beacon, we presume in an attempt to contact other survivors. Womp womp. Leave the ruins of the Entomonanki. And then we got to collect some science. Chemical fusion's been unlocked. That's nice. We're going to wait for this science to collect. We're going to pause. We're going to head in here and check our new event. Administrator, we now have enough data to analyze the Piranesi's drones. The associated research project can be launched at the tech lab. With this, we should be able to install devices that reduce the impact of the Piranesi's drones on the Tiqqun. Acknowledged. So now we can upgrade the Piranesi thing once more. Quicksilver is doing nothing. Eventually, we're going to have you bring in people as well. And then we can check P41. It's a telluric planet with a small quantity of water present as ice. There are many large black telluric formations across its surface. The atmosphere of P41 is heavy with cloud cover and storms envelop the planet, scarring it with solid aluminum rain. Ian has noticed a formation of particular interest. This is the light bulb team. We've landed near Site 0. We should be protected from the aluminum rain here. We've located the formation of unknown origin and are commencing exploration of the site. Investigate the formation, please. All right. One of these, I forget which one, truthfully, is going to progress the Beyond Space and Time achievement. I think it might be this one. But again, we'll worry about that later. We can also start turning on these resource nodes one by one. It's not the most thrilling thing, but we do have to do it. And I also can continue to scan for resources. I think maybe the next step might be to have our docking bays be able to hold more resources. Just because that's a very, very minor thing that we are lacking right now. I wish I could improve the speed of my mining ships. I can improve the speed of my cargo ships, and that might be worthwhile to get as well. Yeah, now we're just collecting science. All is good. What next? Back to Sector 3. How's our steel situation? It's looking fine. We've left the airlocks on, and we're hovering at that full health. We can only have... This gray bar just increases every time we jump. The other thing we could do to make the hull repair better is if we were to set working hours to supported, it gives you extra stability, but also improves the hull repair. Something to consider. The other thing is we want to get a 4th EVA, which we'll be working towards here as we get rid of this cryo center and move all of our cryo stuff over here. Next, we need some medium stockpiles to hold cryopods. Cryopods, and we're definitely going to need more food in Sector 3. 163 coverage. It's about time we're going to move into algae farms. You can get turned back on. I'd like to get rid of this. As soon as we have space for cryopods, we'll be in good shape here. Let's go ahead and build our colonization training center. Cell housing holds 125 people, and these hold 91. So honestly, the cell housing isn't providing that much, unfortunately. Quicksilver, stop bringing people over, actually. There's almost 2,900 flippin' cryopods out there. Just because I want space to get them out of Sector 2. Okay. And then you guys stop bringing in cryopods. We got in a nice round of them, but that's as much as I want right now. The next step, too, is redoing this layout up here. We'd probably have to turn off all our factories and kind of get us into a bit of a stasis in terms of... Maybe we just do that closer to the end of this chapter. I'm not really in a rush to do that right now.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Okay, who is that? That is the light bulb. The team reports that the telluric formation is circular in shape and has steep sides. They began mapping the numerous tunnels that lead inside it. Initial reports suggest that these were not created by natural phenomenon, but dug intentionally. Continued behavioral analysis of the team is registering breaches of DOLOS safety protocol, as well as metaphysical and psychological aberrations. One crew member appears to have removed their protective helmet, convinced that the air in the tunnels was breathable. Accounting for P41's atmosphere, their remaining lifespan is estimated to be 37 minutes. Naomi Protocol says, let them do whatever. I mean, it literally just said they're going to live for, 40 minutes, which 2 cycles is longer than. So instead, we're going to continue the exploration of the formation, but only under strict psychological monitoring. The light bulb team will continue their expedition and analyze the high levels of aluminum in P41's atmosphere. Sounds good. There are some cases where the Naomi Protocol it sounds cool, but is a mistake. That is one of them. Okay, let's keep looking for planets. I think there's more than enough to kind of mine in this general area, though it probably worth moving the Tiqqun here relatively soon. I think P42 is our colonization opportunity, so we want to be moving up there relatively soon as well, which requires us to build batteries in Sector 3. We're already spending quite a lot of alloy in Sector 3.
You can implement a new policy.
We're going to turn you on, and we are going to get... Let's see. So Sector 2... We want no cryopods. Sector 1, I'm actually going to turn off... I'm going to turn off the ability to trade cryopods from these other sectors because I don't want them sending to Sector 3. I only want Sector 3 accepting from Sector 2. So that should empty that out pretty quick. Then we can get rid of this, and we can start expanding on our food supply here soon, because that's got to be our next thing. We have to be able to support all these people who are waking up. That's not a great building to have with an accident at this moment. Ice has been coming in at an okay rate, and we can start looking into another upgrade here. Again, I have so many options that I'm less sure what would be the best thing at this point. Maybe Tier 3 batteries? That will help us finalize our build here. A large stockpile as well. Let's do both of those. That'll just help us, like I said, finalize our builds. I don't think we need increased food production there. Yeah, this should be acceptable. Again, the amount of science on this mission is kind of out of control. Sensitive can move on to the destroyed docking bay. That's the last piece of the Entimananki that we're going to be looking into. And we're going to unassign the turtle. And we're going to assign the turtle over here. And then I'm going to build a third cargo ship. Do I have any that are unassigned? Just making sure. No. Okay, perfect. So we build that. We're getting close to being able to build another solar thing as well. Man, I have so much silicon. It's like I'm not short on chips, though. So, like, I'm fine just waiting for that. I'm fine just waiting. It's okay, and we have enough iron once again sitting on the docks that I'm not really concerned. Yeah. Okay. Colonization, whatever, is being completed.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The information we found on the Entimananki's command center has allowed us to locate its docking bay. We've arrived on site. This part of the Entimananki is a real piece of Swiss cheese. Paradoxically, there is little debris surrounding it. After a rapid survey, we've identified 2 areas of interest, a still accessible docking port and a communications area. We can check both. The Entimananki is generally safe to explore everything except the medical district. You don't want to bring that sample back. It kills everybody and can kill some workers on the Tiqqun if you bring it back. So, yeah, generally just a good idea to avoid that if possible. Yeah, okay, go ahead. And then let's go ahead and get these built. Go ahead and power these off for now. Okay, Sector 1, it's time. We can go ahead and we can deconstruct this.
A science ship team has completed a task.
And one of you can get turned on so that we can get the cryopods out. Perfect. Then power them back off. Science ship again done. Having 2 science ship teams just means that we're really going to be blasting through a lot of this research, which is good. Thanks to intensive psychological and medical follow-up, the light bulb team was able to conclude the study. Solid aluminum particles carried by the winds of P41 created the network of tunnels. The erosive process has transformed the topography of the planet. When the particles collide with each other inside the tunnels, their reverberation generates a low-frequency vibration. When this passes through the inner ear, it alters human neural activity. Yikes. We are not going to override the security protocols. We're just going to leave. And then we are going to keep looking for points of interest on this side of the system so that we have somewhere to send the light bulb next. Okay, docking bay is on the way. I keep getting a little distracted here and losing track of like what I should be working on next.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Okay, both of these are done. These are just like faster charging time. I don't think that's super necessary. The insect farm upgrade is not necessary. The cryonic upgrades is good, and it would allow us to get smart homes eventually too. It's just so that we can unfreeze people even faster. Okay, I think we need to start considering like what it's going to take to be able to support this type of stuff. So we're going to grab storage optimization, and then we're going to grab algae farms so that we can be like we can finalize our food sector and know that no matter how many people we unfreeze, we'll be able to feed them. Because like I'm not really we're not that close, but it's still something I am slightly concerned about. Okay, and our alloy output it's fine. It's still fine. We're collecting silicon steel. Again, there's more to collect than we have reasonable space for, so I'm not that concerned. We do have carbon space in Sector 1, so you guys go ahead and do that. And then Sector 6, you can also be iron, because we are smelting through the iron pretty quick now. I think we want to move the recycling and get another iron smelter. I mean, we don't really have storage for that much iron. When we turn these on for just a little bit of time, we're getting full already. It's just a time thing more than anything else. Okay, start training people, please. We have 60 colonists, and actually with that in mind, I'm going to move my colonists. Where do they live right now? They live in Sector 1. So we're going to move our 60 colonists that live in Sector 1 to Sector 3, because that's where our colonization protocols are going to be occurring. Okay, now I can make big batteries and I can make big stockpiles. Just mousing over here and checking my food sector. We're going to want to be putting a large stockpile for food right here. So like this one is not super necessary. It's like directly in the way. What I can do is just deselect it so that food starts getting taken out of it and not resupplied. And then when it's done, then I can shut it down and we're all good. And then also, yeah, algae farm is coming up, and then we can go drone bays. Algae farm is a lot of power. That's another reason why I didn't want to jump into that if I could avoid it. Okay. So that one got shut down. Let's go ahead and get these out of Sector 5. Or, I'm sorry, Sector 6. Get them out of there. And then Sector 1 as well. We just don't want any cryopods in these sectors. It's going to take some time to get those out of there. And you know what, actually? Sector 1, don't trade those yet. Let's get them out of Sector 6 first. Okay, and I probably could just open up another sector here pretty soon.
Population transfer complete.
Okay, let's go ahead and get this battery built. Just build a little road there so that we can get it constructed, but then we don't really need it anymore. There's really not that much space here. We really need to build more housing out. Let's get this battery built first. We could turn these on. We're on extra hours here. We're going to have to move some workers. We have 40 there, 30 there. Oh. Did I move workers out of Sector 6? So this is something that happens to me every so often. I don't understand how a sector gets so unbelievably overworked like this when I didn't move people out of here. So, I don't know how that happens. That interests me. So let's move 20 out of here and 20 out of here. Only workers from Sector 1 to Sector 6, go ahead. And then from Sector 2 to Sector 6, go ahead. And then Sector 3 is just going to have the new people woken up for this area. I don't need this on anymore. Let's turn on waste recycling. So that's a few workers. I guess I don't need both mess halls on. I don't need the alternate life center on. That's actually what was doing it. Yeah, that's fine for now. Let's, now we're unfreezing people, and we're sending them to Sector 3. Perfect. We're going to need more housing, so let's let this battery finish. That'll allow us to actually move the Tiqqun around a little bit and get closer, especially to the colonist. Especially to the colonist P-42 that we're going to have to be dealing with later. Okay, probes. It looks like we've revealed all the points of interest. And honestly, we revealed like most of the resources as well. So this is good stuff. And this is almost entirely out of the system. So I'm going to go through now and uncheck all of these.
Population transfer complete.
I think I have enough polymer to make another solar panel as well, because again, we're not using polymer for really anything else. Maybe electronics is the only issue, so maybe we do want that second electronics factory. Okay, Sector 3, make sure that we keep training people. Let's see how this looks. So this is our last available solar panel, which means that after this, our only available power is going to come from upgrading our solar through research. Let's get drones now. Or we can finish these improved filters. Yeah, that seems fine. And then we're going to go drones. And then we probably should go ahead and get the Piranesi upgrades. Okay, very nice. No longer need these roads. Just deciding, like, what should I really focus on in this sector first? Probably just more quarters. We're going to run out of chips. We can recycle into chips. And because we're going to be getting a lot of people from this sector, the real positive here is eventually we can research the knee-high protocols so that they all generate a ton of waste, and then we can recycle, and we're going to be almost entirely self-sufficient. So that's a banger. For sure. Let's go ahead and turn on a few of these so that we can transfer over people from Sector 1 cryonic pods so we can make room from these cryonic pods.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Okay, science ships are going off. Destroy docking bay first. The communications room is a theater of atrocities. Frozen, severed body parts float everywhere in a grisly spectacle. The team found that the Entimananki had implemented a system of non-computerized communication in the battle. The UN crew had discovered that the messages that they were sending and receiving via devices and hardware in this area were being tampered with. This falsification of information caused a cascading series of accidents and prompted the move to a new comms system. Something was hacking or mimicking the Entimananki's communication protocols perfectly. Okay, let's investigate the intact docking port. And then we've got P-51. Our probe has registered some interesting environmental data on P-51. Primary analysis revealed conditions similar to those found on a terrestrial seabed. These conditions may prove conducive to the existence of life. This is the crew of the light bulb. P-51's atmosphere has an extremely high gas concentration. We're navigating through an almost semi-liquid environment. The tremendous pressure is putting the resistance of our suits to the test. Having reached the core, we are prepping a sortie out towards what appears to be a collection of geysers, the area that provided the environmental data. So we'll go ahead and set up our advanced infrastructure. And that, our infrastructure setup is Quicksilver. Now, we are far away from this. It's not that far. It's really not that far. Now, the only downside is that, again, all of the steel requests from Sector 3, it's like never enough. Sector 3 always wants more alloy at this point because we're like building quite a lot. We have a lot of alloy to give. Okay, advanced filters is done. Drone bay is coming up. Now let's just double check. Are our miners actually all doing something? We built this one and he's doing nothing. So no, our miners are not all doing something. You're mining, like, just iron, right? I guess we can have you out there mining the remaining carbon. That's fine. And you know what? I mean, we can always deconstruct it later. I think we go ahead and get this electronics factory. We'll keep it powered off so that when it's done, I can make sure that we have enough workers for it. Because currently we do. See, now it feels like we have plenty of... Oh, I mean, I moved some, to be fair. But, like, it was weird that it just seemed like we were completely out of workers at that point. This will empty itself eventually. It will. I mean, I could turn off the other stockpiles if I want to make sure. Okay, that's going to take Quicksilver a while to move in and out to provide for, but that's fine. Destroyed docking bay. This is the sensitive team. We're stationed by the docking port. It has accumulated a huge mass of debris at the bottom of it. Broken vessels, corpses, damaged cryopods, all have been frozen into a horrible amalgam. Ships have entered the port too quickly, crashing inside while attempting to flee. The docking bay came under heavy projectile fire, which tore open the hull and breached the protective plating of the Entomonanki. We have discovered an intact, unexploded BMS missile embedded in the wreckage. We should investigate this further. So we can initiate a controlled detonation, defuse, transport, or leave. So I feel like, at first glance, defusing it would be the worst choice, but it's actually the correct one. We can trust our science team, okay? Defuse the missile, boys. Boys and girls, all right? I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Okay, we're sending this out to load up our cargo ship. More demotic quarters coming up. What's our space looking at in Sector 3? About 250 housing, and it's soon to be plus 100 more. And we're just unfreezing, folks. This is good. Again, we're 10% through waking people up. So 2 cryo centers it'll get us there. It's just going to take a lot of time. Okay, Sector 3's got plenty of battery power.
A science ship team has completed a task.
So let's power this on. Because now we need those chips, like I was talking about. Let's make sure that I don't stop sending probes out, because there's plenty of good resources. If anything, like, we can look for that silicon. I mean, there's not much reason to mine those resources right now. Or at the very least, I can mine them, but then I don't have to pick them up until much later. I'm just trying to be cognizant of the fact that my docking bays don't have unlimited space. And I think that that is the appropriate thing to be doing. Okay, so you guys now go ahead and start bringing in another batch of ice. As soon as the docking bays seem like they're running out of space, we go ahead and go for some ice. All right, we're pretty much out of polymer again, and it looks like all of our solar is done. It is. All of our external construction is done. That's what you like to see.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Don't speak to me about accidents, okay? It happens. It happens. Destroyed docking bay is done again. We managed to defuse the missile. The technology contained within is not only more advanced than that aboard the Tiqqun or even the Entomonanki, but it is of a structure and logic belonging to a completely different scientific paradigm. We've transmitted data and schematics to the Tiqqun Tech Lab for further analysis. So go ahead and start.
The electromagnetite has passed through the CRUC system, and the Tiqqun is still online. Congratulations, Administrator.
Thank you, Eden. A compliment from you, rather than telling me that I did something wrong, is nice to hear. Okay, close this, and let's go ahead and just keep turning these off from being avoided. They don't need to be avoided right now. So I think we're going to have more than enough alloy to really consider moving the Tiqqun around to get a little closer to this stuff. But at the same time, we have plenty of time. Like, we're really not in a rush. Which feels nice. Okay, avoided, no, avoided, no, avoided, no. I think maybe this one might just be barely inside the storm, so we'll turn it on avoided, but it should be completely gone after one more point of interest. Who? Sensitive, I think we can move on now. More carbon. I mean, again, this is like, we're swimming in carbon at this point. There's also plenty of ice. They're not shy about the ice, that's for sure. Administrator, we now have enough data to analyze Piranesi missile technology. The associated research project can be launched in the tech lab. With this, we should be able to set up countermeasures to protect ourselves from Piranesi weaponry. I'm telling you, Chapter 3 is all about just like, hey, Chapter 2 and Chapter 1, you were like barely hanging on, so here's your opportunity to get out there and really, and now you're like free to really build up. It feels good. Okay, is there a reason that we're not sending these cryopods over to Sector 3? Sector 2 node doesn't have any left. Sector 6 doesn't have any left. Okay, now we're processing the chips a little bit faster, which also means that we can bring in silicon. I don't think I need nearly as much iron, so we go ahead and have these folks bring in silicon because we're going to be processing it that much faster. And we're going to run out of space on our docking bays. I think yeah, let's keep working on everything can become storage. I love it. These are just loading and unloading faster. I don't think that's really worth it. So I'm not worried about that. And then then we have cargo ship speed and we have cargo ship storage. I like both of those, especially when we're dropping things off to do this science. Okay, the sensitive is going to P43. The light bulb is waiting for resources.
The science ship has arrived at its destination.
What you got for me? Our probe has discovered an unusual electromagnetic signal transmitting from beneath the surface of P43. The signal shares many similarities with the one our team identified on the Rakatansky comet in the Immortan system. This is the sensitive crew. We've landed on P43. The electromagnetic signal seems to be transmitting from below the planet's surface. We only have a limited amount of time to investigate before our suits in the sensitive's hull are compromised by P43's corrosive atmosphere. Sean recommends the use of demolition charges to accelerate the excavation process. Trust your science team. Normally, you wouldn't use explosives to do anything. It's just kind of a bad idea, but they're saying that it's a good idea, and they're saying that they don't have much time, so we're going to do this first. Okay, let's keep sending probes out. At least seems like this side of the system, it's like there's nothing between. It's odd how there's like nothing in between these areas in the system. I think it's, I guess, because they expected you to move a lot. I'm not sure. It says someone in the fleet isn't doing anything. Quicksilver, she's moving things back and forth. Give her a break, okay? Give her a break. Okay. Back to Sector 6. I think we go ahead back to alloy here again because we're spending a lot of alloy to build this sector out, and we are thawing people like crazy. We're going to train more colonists. I think we had 60, and you need 90 to colonize in this sector. So the group we just trained should be enough. I also could just train a bunch, knowing that we're going to need more for the future. Get rid of these. What did it say? Drone bay was done. Yes. So I really just need this to be empty. I can queue it up for destruction.
A science ship team has completed a task.
All right, P43. Ah, look at that. Quicksilver did her job. That's already got all the resources it needs. The explosion, which was larger than expected, revealed a huge system of subterranean tunnels. Despite the rubble and the instability of the area, the Sensitives team identified a passageway leading to the anomaly. The journey downward was without incident. The anomaly is in a large cave full of strange geological forms. Concentric circles are present on the walls, reaching from the floor to ceiling and formed of many layers of different sediments. Crystal formations have grown everywhere, but what is most astonishing, however, is the anomaly itself, a huge gray sphere, about 4 meters in diameter, floating in the center of the cave. Just like Rakatansky. So, if you used explosives, we can do 2 of these, and then we have to leave. If we drilled through the surface, then we lose the amount of time, and you can only do 1 of these before you have to leave. If you try and do more than that, then you will lose people. So we're going to examine the sphere. This is for the Beyond Space and Time achievement. Let me be super clear about that. Okay, looking good. Everybody's mining. Everybody's assigned to pick something up. See, we've got polymer coming back in, but now we don't really have anything to spend it on except probes. So we just need a place to store it for now. Lots of silicon out here. Yeah, the amount of resources here is... It's a lot. It's more than we need. So I just want to check. Okay, there's nothing to be... checking with science. Have we been moving people out of these over to Sector 6? It looks like it. Okay, good.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
I am going to upgrade my cryonic center. And then I'm going to upgrade my crew quarters. And we also have drone bays now. So now that I actually have those drone bays, I am going to build one in my industrial sector. This should get materials faster between areas. So we're going to throw this down right here. Perfect. That's going to take some time to build. I don't think we have anything else in progress being built. What am I getting? Oh, the ability to unfreeze people faster, just because that's our main objective and it's going to take forever.
Administrator, you can implement a new policy.
I don't think there is a policy that I need at this point, so we turn that off. Why are we neutral here? We got Demotic Quarter, we've got Dog, we've got Propaganda, we got Memorial. What about over here? Train Station. Hey, okay. I just queued up something big over here, didn't I? Yeah, let's wait for this drone. Let's wait for the drones to finish, and then we'll go from there. A good amount of alloy just like sitting around. I guess we need it over here.
Team has completed a task.
P51. We've discovered unusual bacteriological formations in the geysers of P51. The bacteria are not only capable of arranging amino acids by utilizing geyser emissions as binding agents, they restructure mineral deposits and carve out basins around the geysers. Further groups of bacteria are found within these basins. We have named the bacteria Myers and would like to carry out further behavioral analysis. Conduct further tests on the Meyer bacteria. If you say so, we can do it. That's all right. This is okay to do. I'm telling you, this is okay to do. You have my permission. It's safe. Okay, and then over here, I actually have some housing that I haven't fully upgraded over here yet. I guess that's not really that big of a thing, truthfully. Sector 6 needs battery power, though. We can fit one in here. That's, again, the Sim City. It's coming. It's coming in. It's coming in good.
A science ship team has
completed a task. It's mostly steel production. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe we just move our waste over here.
A probe has completed its scan.
I think we just move our waste over there because I would love to get a third steel mill. That'll help us get through this a little bit faster because we have so much housing to build to keep up with the people that we're unfreezing. Food production still is fine. Having two open stockpiles here will allow us to bring in cryopods in Sector 1 and over here. What's our housing situation look like over here? See, it's closing in on us pretty fast. We just need to keep making demotic housing. We do that, and the drone factory will help us quite a bit. The drone bay, excuse me. We can also get drone bay upgrades, which is handy and nice. We'll go ahead and get smart homes. That'll just make all of our demotic quarters hold that many more people. Yeah, this is more about being able to process all the iron more than anything else, truthfully. So,
Science ship team has
completed a task. Spent a lot of our time this episode just keeping up with science. The sphere repels anyone or anything that gets too close to it as if it were a magnet repelling another. According to our readings, the sphere is composed of multiple layers. A thin gaseous layer covers the surface, a seemingly sedimentary layer beneath. Within that, the core generates a strong electromagnetic field that periodically degasses the surface. We've also detected the presence of particles characteristic of self-similar space. Behavior reports indicate that Augustus is developing a strange fascination with the sphere. Uh-oh. Okay, so like I said, if we drilled, you should leave now. Because we used explosives, we're able to go ahead and do one more of these. So we'll study the concentric circles. And then we can check on how the light bulb is doing. The majority of myobacteria lives inside the geyser tube. Smaller tubes do exist externally that appear to have been excluded. Samples from within the geyser reveal an organized society that is not only able to propagate other types of bacteria, but also use what can be only described as tools exchanged via vascular transfer. We theorized a bacteriological language, and with the help of the PA, sent a message to the colony through the appropriate stimuli. They responded. The colony has proposed that they follow us on an expedition to the Tiqqun. This will be a monumental undertaking, as a single human cycle corresponds to several hundred of theirs. We have determined that the best way of transporting the bacteria will be to settle a small colony within the respiratory tract of one of the crew. Perhaps an extreme method, but it will provide the ideal conditions for the bacteria. An intelligent and aware species, this will surely open the way for new perspectives. No thanks. I will not authorize the transportation of the Meyer bacteria. Leave P51. It's a cool idea. We're not doing it, okay? It's a cool idea. We're not doing it. Tempting to move the Tiqqun maybe up to here just to get a little closer to... You know, we're going to be in the system for so long still that I don't mind having to send the Quicksilver up to P42. It's going to take a long time. That's okay. I talked about moving recycling over here. Let's actually do that. Now, I mean, we have to wait for this construction to finish first. Yeah, we got plenty of iron. It's just the production at this point. We've got space for a little bit of carbon over here, so let's go ahead and bring that in. The polymer's getting made. Yeah, and then it's also reorganizing this so that we can use medium stockpiles up here. That's going to take some time. That's going to take some time and organization. So the drone bays are done. Maybe we just go ahead and we upgrade the drone bays. I think maybe we go ahead and upgrade the drone bays. What do we need to upgrade our algae forms? We need to get the mushroom wall upgrades. Interesting. How's our food looking? 150%. It's getting close to needing to upgrade to algae farms. It's not something that is critical, but it's there. It's something to think about. Let's get some drone bay upgrades. Increases maximum drone capacity by 1. Increases the number of units that drones can carry. We're also going to put a drone bay in our food sector. And we're going to do something like this. We're going to have a large stockpile for food. And we're going to just pause that for now. And then we're going to have... And we're okay on chips, and we don't need to make solar panels. And then we're going to build a drone bay next to it. Like that. Let me just double check my grid layout here. And then we're going to put more... We put more batteries here, and then we put... eventually we can get our waste treatment, our water treatment down here if that's something we want to use. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this built first, and then pause the drone bay. It's not super critical right now. But the important thing with the drone bay here is it helps with the distribution of food, which is something that we have to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and train more colonists.
A science ship team has completed a task.
The concentric circles do not have a classical geological origin. A phenomenon unknown and external to the geological activity observed on P43 generated these strange formations. The circles are not perfect, but the distance between each layer is proportional to their diameters. Atomic analysis revealed a presence of particles characteristic of self-similar space. Sensors indicate that the team's suits and the sensitive hulls will soon be compromised by the planet's atmosphere. Repatriation should be initiated with urgency. So it does tell you, like, don't stay. So we leave. As we were preparing to leave the cave, Augustus leaped into the sphere. Unlike our previous attempts, they were not repelled, they were sucked in. Everything has been recorded in the report. We leave this barren and cursed rock. So we've lost Augustus Montano from the Sensitive. An experienced crew member of the Sensitive who's been with us since the beginning. You hate to see it. We're going to collect the science, then we have to send the Sensitive back to the Tiqqun to get restaffed. And then we're going to send the light bulb up to P42. And then how's our fleet looking? For now, it seems fine. We're bringing in ice and we're bringing in carbon. Just got to check the status of our docking bays every so often to make sure they're not overloaded. I don't think we need more ice right now, so we're going to go ahead and turn that off and have them get some carbon because there is room in this stockpile. And there's a little room over here in these stockpiles, and we continue to make more polymer. We really needed those polymer upgrades previously, but not so much anymore. Okay, large stockpile feels good. Let's go ahead and now turn on the drone bay. We don't want to unfreeze too many people because we are, at least not yet, because we are going to have to dismantle some of these insect farms to start algae. So there is going to be a little bit of a disruption to food.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
All right. P-42 is eligible for colonization testing. Data collection will help shape future DOLOS initiatives. We've landed on P-42. The planet is bathed in a toxic yellow haze, which severely reduces visibility. First measurements have recorded trace amounts of oxygen in the planet's atmosphere. We've also noted that the presence of a few species of bacteria on the shores of Mada, one of P-42's cyanide oceans. Is this really where we want to be? Is this really it? So we're going to establish advanced colonies, and you know who it's got to be. It's got to be Quicksilver. And that's going to take a long time because we're very far away, but I don't see a reason to move the Tiqqun when there's so many resources for us to gather down here. So the Sensitive, go ahead and head back to the Tiqqun to get restaffed, and then we'll send you out to P-37. And I think that is where we're going to go ahead and stop for today. There's even more silicon over here. Might as well scan that. Just looking for the light green. There it is. That's where we're going to go ahead and stop for today. Sector 3 has been going great. These episodes have been a little longer just because there's not really a good spot to ever stop. There's just always so much to be doing. It's great. But, yeah, we have a lot to do. We have so many cryopods to pick up. We have so many cryopods to thaw that we came here with. It's crazy. But now that we have our drone bays getting set up, our food sector is almost completed. Our people area is looking okay, but I think my next step is we're going to go ahead, like I had mentioned, and move my waste treatment over to Sector 3 because we have some room up here. And then we're going to build a third steel mill just so that we can really start burning through this iron because we're spending it faster and faster and faster. So the sooner we can get through that kind of stuff, the better. So that's on the docket for next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.